into the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Oh, yeah. I know I say oh, yeah, a lot. But here we are, episode 8, Shark Tank recap.
The best
You
things
got-
in life are free.
Oh, my God.
Thank you.
We
right
wish-
at that moment, Josh, you just had to bring down the music.
I feel like we need that singing thing from last week.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that actually didn't sound that bad, Phil. I would go karaokeing with you.
Before we get into tonight's episode, let's address some rumors and issues. Last week, I was very passionate. I was not drunk. There's a difference. I don't know which one's worse.
Yes. Thank you, Phil, for clearing that up. Someone in the comments said Phil might have been drunk, but he was not. He was just feeling very, very deeply.
Again, I don't know which one's worse.
I'm going to have no comment on that one.
All right.
Rare no comment from Stef Z.
Okay.
But here we are tonight. I am Stef Z, and I got...
Not Cameron.
Nope, Cameron's not here tonight.
We got a nice email that he had something else to do, and because of that, he is out.
He is out with no percentage. No money, no percent, no value, bye-bye. No, I'm just kidding. We love you, Cameron. We're sorry you're not here tonight. And let's get started. I think tonight we're gonna try something new, and we're gonna see how it goes. We're gonna talk about the pitches, and we're gonna see if we would make a deal, if it's a steal, or if we pass.
Now, what constitutes as a steal?
A deal is going to be like sometimes the Sharks rip them off because they just don't know better. Mm-hmm. I think that's a steal. It's like you got that you got that business partnership for a steal as a Shark.
Okay.
A deal is just okay. I'd give them what they want, and a pass is I'm out, or it should just be deal, steal, out.
Okay.
So I think let's get started here. And we have a special episode. It's, for Veterans Day. We have all we're ex-military. So we want to give a shout out for Veterans Day. The people that do serve our country. It's a rare breed of person that does that. And I am very thankful that they go out there and help protect us. Mm-hmm. And we had a really neat update tonight that we'll get to later. But let's start off with Ashley Drake and the Natural Grip. What you think?
Not a product that I would use, but...
You don't work out? Get those guns?
No, I hate working out. But, it's... she had the... I love... Robert said it best. She had the upsell with the tape.
She was awesome to me.
She was great.
I really
Very
liked her energy. She was knowledgeable. She wasn't like blowing smoke up anyone's rear. She was just like, this is my product. This is why it's working. I can do this. I can make it work better. I need you for this. Like, she was very on point. And again, a lot of that I think is that military background. It's like, there's kind of like no bullshit with her. And I wouldn't use this either, but she did have a good demonstration. She had some huge weightlifter in there. That woman lifted like 165 pounds, like pressed it over her head, or whatever the correct terminology is.
Bench press. No,
bench press is like this.
Squats.
It wasn't a squat either. I think it was just like she got it up.
Yeah. She got it up.
Exactly. But she was very strong. And then she was doing these, and CrossFit I've never done CrossFit. Have you ever done CrossFit? It's this new like phenomena. It's like yoga before
Okay,
yoga.
here's just in general my life philosophy.
Uh-oh.
No, I stay in shape by actually doing like a sport. I don't want to run just to run. I don't want to
I hate running.
do sit-ups just to do sit-ups. I'd rather play basketball. I'd rather play soccer. Baseball for me doesn't fit in this category. I'd rather bike.
Right.
I'd rather do something
biking's not really a sport. I mean, it is. I get it, but it's not like.
No, but
I understand when you say, "I play soccer or basketball." You're like playing soccer, playing basketball. Like you're riding a bike. You just
no, I understand.
Riding a bike.
But part of it for me riding a bike is I've ridden 175 miles in a day, and I get to see like all this scenery. So it's a way to just get your thoughts and also see a lot of.
You've ridden 175 miles in one day.
I have.
I don't know if I believe you.
I have the passport to prove it because I went through different countries and you can see the timestamps.
All right.
Anyway,
back to Ashley.
That's why for me it doesn't fit. But hey, you know what? The whole fitness thing is just becoming a phenomenon.
Right, and this CrossFit is it's almost like not a cult that has a negative connotation, but it's like, you know, like how yoga became like all the people that were doing yoga. Now there's all these people that are doing CrossFit. It's this new thing, and I'm not quite sure why these, you know, the natural grips would work better than for CrossFit rather than just weightlifting, but I feel like it could work just in the gym too, and I feel like that's what she was saying, but it was like targeted towards CrossFit.
You get sweaty.
Yeah, you get sweaty. And I get it. She found, and you know, one of the things, and I'm not...
Robert, when he was doing his chin-ups...
Yeah.
You know what? I could see, like, you do lose grip.
You lose grip. You get sweaty. So, yeah, there's a need. And she was just very upfront. She's like, there are other products out there in the market like this, but mine's better because this. And it's true. I've seen some of those. It's like thick, and you see people at the gym wearing them. They're like these thick things, and they get torn and whatever. And it was very.
They get sweaty inside. There's
well, in the leather, when it gets sweaty, it's slippery.
Yeah. Usually, like people have gloves and things like that, and
right.
Yeah, those get real gross.
And then they get like smelly. She said that there's also a market because you'd have to replace them, but I didn't know if you could wash them. Did you hear if you can wash them? I don't know if she addressed that. Maybe she did in the longer version.
I don't.
But they always got to get like stinky.
I don't think they're as reusable as most things.
Right. Well, you can't it's not just a one-use thing.
It's not just a one-use thing, but maybe a month of use. It's like a toothbrush.
Okay. That's 3 months, isn't it? Are you supposed to do a toothbrush every like 2 months, 3 months? Every month you replace your toothbrush?
I gotta have a clean
toothbrush. You got some
toothbrush.
pearly whites over there. That's why.
I gotta use it. I need a good toothbrush.
All right.
You can't be using no jacked up toothbrush.
All right. So, in her last year, which is her first year, I believe, she did $178,000 worth of sales. She's looking for $100,000 for 20%. And the thing that's different about this too is it's based off your ring finger. Like you put your fingers through this slit, and it fits to your hand better, which creates the more comfort, so you can be doing those types of activities and be protected but still comfortable. So $178,000 in sales. It's a cotton adhesive. I don't know, Phil. What are you thinking here? Is it a deal, steer, or you out? And why?
You know what? I'd give her a deal.
Yeah.
Because she's very honest, as you said. Like there was even for the positives, she didn't make it too positives, and for the negatives, she didn't try to BS her way out of it. So I like her personality. I think this is something that you could make money off of. I would go with a Mr. Wonderful deal more on this.
Yeah, I'm surprised there was no perpetuity deal here.
Yeah. But it would be a deal for me. I wouldn't want to try, I wouldn't think of it as like a steal. So,
right.
It's brilliant, but it's not that brilliant.
Well, it's brilliant, but the steal factor would be that if it's a brilliant business idea, but she clearly doesn't know what she's doing. So it's like you're stealing it.
She knows what
she's on point. Yeah. I would have to agree. This would be a deal for me too. She has sales, and it's, you can't teach somebody how to be an entrepreneur. You can't teach them the drive. You can't teach them the balance of charisma and dedication and focus and all that. And I feel like she had a very good balance of that. So I would want to do business with her just for that reason.
And she had a celebrity. I mean, granted, I don't know this celebrity.
Right.
But
who was also sponsored by her. She sponsored this person. So I feel like she's got the knowledge that when you have a product like this, it's almost like you need street cred. You know, it's like you need to go out there and get those people that are doing this to use it so that people see her using it in the gym and are like, oh, if I wear those little grip thingies, I'm going to get big and strong, you know?
Yeah. So, exactly. So, you know, I think she had a great strategy and she knows what she's going to do with this.
I think so too. So, okay, so we would have both given her a deal. What actually happened was Robert offers her $100,000 for 30%. Then Damon offers $100,000 for 40%. And it was really funny. You know, I like to take some of the quotes that stand out for me. And when she started talking about manufacturing, Damon was like, I took my umbilical cord and made it into a belt. I've been manufacturing since I was born. And I felt like that was just really funny. And then Robert counters with $125,000 for 20%. And Damon counters with $100,000 for 33%. So it's almost kind of even. And she goes with Robert, which I felt I would have went with Damon.
You know, I would have gone with Robert, only not because he's the sports guy as he claims to be, which
the sporty shark, like the Spice Girls, the Shark Spice, the spicy sharks.
But you know what? He seemed to have a lot of passion for it. Damon, I mean, they both would have been great options at the end of the day.
I wonder if she decided to go with Robert because Damon mentioned that he could get like Reebok on the bag. You know, he could do those partnerships, and maybe she was like, I don't really want that. I want it to be my thing. I wonder, but I would feel like something like this, manufacturing a product like this, you know, Robert is sporty and he's fun and he does a lot of the guitar things and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, he is more like a tech guy, I feel. No?
I mean, we can make an offset of this for carpal tunnel, like keyboard typers, so their hands don't get sweaty.
Done. Okay, cool. Anything else about the natural grip before we move on?
Kudos to her. I mean, I don't know if she was going for Robert, but if she was, she got him. You know, I don't see it be, you know, I don't think she wanted to get in on QVC.
I don't think it's a QVC thing. And again, Lori, I love her consistency in the fact where if she's not passionate about a product, she's like, no. Even if it's the best thing out there, she can't get behind it. So it's kind of that everything that Lori does put on QVC or, you know, token as hers, she really does care about, which is kind of awesome. Okay, moving on. Next up, we have Lori and Wade with Priority 1 Canine. They want $75,000 for 15% of their company. What do you think of this, Phil?
Pass.
Yeah, I'm out.
Okay, as you're explaining, first tier was we teach your dogs when the doorbell rings to that the dogs bark. My dogs already do that and they're untrained. Okay?
I'm going to save the $20K. My dog barks at the door. You get the
Teach
dog,
them to not
too,
bark.
which is like... To me, it's very weird that you get the dog, too. I don't know, like, I feel like it would be more of a specialized thing if they could... I mean, I get it. You can't train, like, a wiener dog to go do this. It's not going to be too scary. The burglar or whoever will take the dog and throw it out the window if they really want to cause harm. But if you have, like, a boxer, German Shepherd...
I got that.
Why can't they train your dog so that you don't need to get a new dog? You don't know where this dog came from.
Yeah,
like a dog bodyguard? I don't know, man.
And it goes to that point, like, you know, I don't know. My dogs are rescues.
I mean, the same thing for
so.
$40K. You can go, and I'm surprised Damon didn't say this, and I'm not gonna say it as good as him. But for $40K, you can go hire somebody to stand outside your door for 12 hours a day while you're sleeping. Like if you paid someone cash, $40,000,
and they would be trained to speak English,
right?
Or at least take command.
And you wouldn't have to pick up their shit.
Or feed them.
Now that, if these dogs, they could pick up their own poop, that might be something.
It was just over, I mean, the whole biggest thing was the expansion portion of it. It's a great business for them. They'll make a lot of money. They'll get a lot of great Yelp reviews and people will continue to come to them. But it's not investable.
No, it's definitely not vegetable. And I think what the Sharks were saying, it's not vegetable because the two of them are what's necessary. So you can only train as many as they can train. And when they were saying they revamp or they revisit the dog to keep them trained properly, like they have to go back, again, it's only them. They're not training. If their model was, we have this skill set and we want to get 10 other people to have this skill set so we can get more dogs trained, but they don't.
Yeah. I remember, I think it was like season 3 or perhaps 4, where Mr. Wonderful says, the problem is the business is you. So I can't have my investment go outside the store, get hit by a bus, and the business be over.
It's true. It's very true. Yeah, I remember when he said that.
Yeah.
Because there's no manual, there's no, we're going to train your dog. And that's, again, it's like, no, we're going to train your dogs, we're going to create other people, we're going to train other people to train. Then I could see it being something where they can get more dogs a year out than 11. It's not a lot.
That seems like, that's the smallest number ever.
It really is. So yeah, pretty much everyone kind of went out. There was nothing that kind of stood out for me for reasoning why.
At least they were respectable. I mean, I hated their post interview because they were like, that sucked, I'm disappointed. Like, they just seemed very bitter. But it's like, okay, you have to go on Shark Tank. You're going to have orders.
Right, but this is going to be one of those products where people go on Shark Tank and they don't get a deal and then their business triples overnight. I don't think they're going to do 22 dogs tomorrow.
Yeah, well, be ready to do it. Like, that's hey, you wanted to expand the business. Now that was your shot, and you probably did. So now figure out how to keep in demand. That's up to them.
And the crazy thing to me is, like, what happens when one dog goes wrong? What happens when they say one wrong thing and the dog attacks the wrong person? Like, is it a guarantee?
Well, nothing's a guarantee.
I know, but you know what I mean? Like, what?
I'm sure there's a contract that you sign.
That, if the dog... It's kind of a weird business to me. And I did like how when someone said you're buying and selling dogs, Mark was kind of like, they're placing dogs. So, for the animal people out there. But it just kind of didn't sit right with me.
I just prefer a more regular way of dog training.
Have you trained your dogs?
I trained the German Shepherd. I have another dog, the Pointer, and she's not very well trained, so she's a wild child, and she's basically undone all of the training
of the other ones, right? Okay, cool. Is there anything else that stands out about Priority 1 K9? For me, it was kind of just, I didn't expect to see it. I like that there was something kind of different, but I didn't expect this. I didn't expect them to get a deal. I didn't see him getting a deal, and they kind of didn't. There was nothing else that stood out for me. Anything?
No, that was it.
All right, moving on. It's quick when it's just the two of us. Next in, oh man, we had Aaron with the modern man bag. The man pack. You know what? I'm sorry, Aaron, if you're out there. If you're listening, Aaron, somebody, if you're listening, he wanted $200,000 for 29%. Right there, no. For me, it's just no.
Like, why?
Because, it's either 25 or 30. It's like the people that come into the tank that, number one, clearly his business, when we talk to him more, he's like, well, and this is for goodwill. Like, clearly he has no idea why he's valuing his company at that.
What does that mean? And $200,000 for goodwill. Like, just like.
He's saying like, oh, I'm going to make that. Don't worry, man. I'm going to build the business. So that 200K, man, we're going to get there. It's going to be worth that. Like, it's like a fluffer. That's what he's saying. And it's just, to me, when you come out and you say that type of number, it's just, I feel like almost all the Sharks' eyes roll. It's like, really, dude? You're that exact on your valuation where it's going to be 29%. You're not just going to make it easy and 25 or 30.
Yeah, just use increments of 5 when doing deals.
Yeah. And it was a little bit sad because he had a great presentation, I thought. Like, he had answers to stuff. He was upbeat. He was like, you take this off. And he had, like, kitschy phrases for stuff. This is whatever he said for the beverage holder, like the
collapsible beverage holder.
Yeah, the collapsible beverage holder. Like, he was on point. But for me, as soon as I heard 29%, I was just like, it gave a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth.
This is a product that I would use.
You want the man pack.
I love my backpacks. I love things that hold a lot of things.
Pockets. I love pockets.
And I love the mobility.
Right.
You know, so I'm always into these things. And but it's just not worth that.
It's not worth that much. But I really liked him. I loved when he said, if you were on an island, what would be more valuable, a cheeseburger or a brick of gold? I'd want the cheeseburger.
Yeah, but then you only have it once.
Right, but if you're starving and you need the food, you can't eat the gold. You can't eat your money. So.
Gold's good for you.
To eat it?
I don't know.
You're crazy. Yeah, pretty much. Again, wasn't for me, there had to be something more like the bag scratched your back while you walked. You know, like how many messenger bags are out there? He was trying to say he had a design patent on it, but just because the strap came across one way, like you can Google right now man pack and you'd find 10,000 of them rather than just his. You know, like it's out there everywhere.
You know what? I will have. This is where you have to go to like me and like I'll test it. Part of the problem is, again, is it the most investable thing in the world? Probably not. His valuation was absurd. However, it just goes to show the difference. Like, I wonder how many of these sharks actually go to like a Target and things like that, because I go to the places, whether it's Walmart, Target, Best Buy, all these different places, and I look at the crop of things out there, and so I'm in the know. Right. And for me, I love these sort of backpacks, and this is something different. Now, is it the most different thing in the world? I got to try it. Right. To see. But
are you going to purchase a man pack? Is that what I'm hearing, Phil? Is that what's happening?
I could.
All right, well, with that.
I was one of the first people that bought the suitcases with the 4 wheels.
The upright ones?
Yeah, and I loved it because you just push it with one finger.
Right.
Gone are the days of, oh my God, you used to carry. They didn't even have the wheels, and the wheels barely worked. Now we're out to amazing days. What a day. What a day and age
I can't
we live
wait
in.
till luggage is remote controlled. Or it's just by your phone. It's like a GPS that your luggage will stay within a foot away from you and just go right behind you.
I can't wait till we teleport.
I can't wait till I'm beam me up, Scotty. All right, so for the man pack, is it a deal, steal, or out for you?
Yeah. Probably out, but I'm buying it. I'm out buying it.
All right.
At Target.
That's fair. I'm out as well. I don't know that this would be at Target. It's $55.
Target would sell 55. Marshalls, TJ Maxx, something like that.
Yeah. But it's almost like you kind of have to be a bigger brand to get it there. Like TJ Maxx is like the second stop. It's like you have to sell other places in order for TJ Maxx to buy it. But I get what you're saying. But it's kind of, I think it's a little bit pricey for a backpack for Target.
Target, perhaps. TJ Maxx, Marshalls, no. Marshalls, no.
Right.
See? I've been to these places. Put me on Prices Right.
I've sold to these places. I've sold to TJ Maxx. TJ Maxx and Marshalls are the same company together. So I've sold to them, and that's the thing. If because we sold to other stores, then that's how they'll take your product. So, like, I don't know that they have that many brands that are only in TJ Maxx. It's like a Saks Off Fifth. It's okay. But I see what you're getting. Yeah, I would be out. I did really like him, though. Besides his 29% valuation, I kind of really liked him. So I thought it was a great presentation. Another army.
But he seemed bitter, too, at the end. He's like, well, I'm sure they wanted the company for next to nothing.
Yeah, he's like, I'm sure they wanted 70% for $20K. And it's just, I don't know, man. Maybe some of these military people have a little bit of aggression inside.
Well, they're going to such a structural world, and this is kind of... you now have to create and be on your own. It's one of the reasons why China and America is so much different, because they are so rigid and structured in everything that they do. Whereas here, we're so much more looser. We make time for socializing and things like that. And so because of that, it breeds creativity more naturally.
Right. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, anything else about Aaron before we move on?
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Next, we have Eli and Jen with the most manly gift, the bottle breacher. It's a .50 caliber bullet that's used as a bottle opener. They want $150,000 for 10% of the company. Is this a deal steer out for you, Phil?
The only thing that could have made this presentation better was the Major Pain line of, here, I got this bullet. It's from my heart. You're like, oh, wow, where'd you get it? From my heart.
Yeah, Phil. No, really, I loved this product. I think it's so cool. I could see them selling them at bars. I could see them selling them every kind of store. I mean, at gas stations. I'm surprised they don't sell them at gas stations.
Well, I think they said the biggest thing for them is 90% of their orders are customized. Ergo, they need an engraver. And hey, trust me, I've seen an engraver at work. They are slow, even with today's modern technology.
There's got to be a quick way to engrave stuff.
Yeah, but okay, that's
fine. Or emboss
fine.
it, or like burn it in there or something.
Okay, but
laser printer, scratch it in.
If you're buying multiple ones and they're supposed to see 7-Eleven on it, yeah, I'm sure you can mass produce these. If it's supposed to say Stef Z's birthday,
right, but at 7-Eleven you could say like, this bud's for you, or it can be like bottoms up, or like generic phrases that you see on all kinds of lighters and all that crap. You know what I mean? Like lucky one tonight, or lucky bottle opener, or whatever. I think that they're gonna be, sooner or later they're gonna be everywhere. It reminds me of that thing. What was that? That bullet buoy. Was it? Do you remember the bullet buoy?
No.
It was a buoy for fishing, and it was shaped like a bullet, and that was very I thought it was the same thing, like Hunter. I think like guys came out in camo and presented. It was like last year or the year before. But I think this is going to take off. And I think this is going to be one of the things where overnight their sales just double. People are going to be buying these for the bachelor parties, the best man, like all that stuff. It's a perfect gift for that.
I would love to write innuendos on them.
Of course you would. Of course you would. So for you, what is it? Is it a deal, steal, or are you out?
It's a deal.
Yeah, it's a deal for me too.
I don't think I could steal it from them. They're good people.
Yeah. No, they're good people. They're good people. So yeah, it's a deal. They do wind up getting a deal. They wanted they said that it cost $23.50. $9.03 was their cost. To wholesale about $16 to $18. Their year to date was $500,000. And they have since this year, like at the end of the year, they have an $840,000 projection. And like last month, they did $100,000 worth of these. That's amazing. And I like their whole story. I like the name of the breacher. That I didn't know that the breacher was the first person that goes in the mission. Like I got the whole breach. It breaches the bottle. It opens it up. But I didn't know. Did you know that?
I've seen enough movies at this point.
Oh no, but you knew that was the guy's name, that title.
Mm-hmm.
Send the breacher in. Is that what they say? That's pretty cool.
It's not the exact line.
I know, I'm just kidding. So Mr. Wonderful offers him a deal, and I almost miss Mr. Wonderful's perpetuity deals, because they were just so like, oh, what's he gonna do now? And he's just like $150,000 for 20%. And
that's why they came. From you, sir. It is an honor to get that deal because of how rare it is.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't know. Maybe ultimately went with Mr. Wonderful, because of that, because it threw him off.
Maybe. I don't know either. Well, and then Lori was pretty much, this is a niche market, I'm out. Damon offers up $200,000 for 25,
contingent.
But contingent on getting licenses and stuff. And Robert's like, I'm just going to clear the field. I'm out. And I thought this was very ballsy of Eli to be like, Mark, would you be interested in joining in of either of these deals? Like clearly they had their sights on Mark. They wanted Mark to be a part of this. And Mark was like, yes, I'll go in on Mr. Wonderful's deal, which I thought again was, I don't know. For some reason, the two of them together, I mean, you have all your bases covered, but I feel like they would almost butt heads, Mark and Mr. Wonderful.
Not really.
No, you don't think so?
Nah, because here's the thing. Mark's going to tell him how to promote it. Mark's going to get this like in front of eyes and ears. And Kevin's going to formulate good business strategies.
Yeah, I just feel like there'd be a little bit of toe stepping, but I guess not. You know, Mark was like, "I'll go in with Mr. Wonderful," and they agreed for $150,000 for 20%, and they just, you know, got a deal. And they said that they wanted 2 sharks from the beginning, which was kind of awesome. That's what they wanted. That's what they got.
1 is none, 2 is 1.
That was kind of awesome.
I don't know what that saying is, but yeah.
Well, it's maybe, you know, in the military or in the SEALs, or you know, it's that by yourself you're none, but if you have someone with you, then you're 1 together.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's some I'm sure someone, if you guys out there know, let us know in the comments what that actually means. All right, well, they got a deal. That was my favorite product of the night, the bottle breacher. Yeah, I really liked them. I liked his little story about how he didn't get into the SEALs at first, and then he got in, and it shows determination. And I like their product the best. There's a lot of products that I think are good and that will sell, but I don't like. I could see myself having one of these. So.
I'm surprised you don't already.
I know. You would think I would have one. I don't know. Maybe I'll get one from Phil for some Christmas. Anything else before we move on to
holiday? We're a non-denominational sector.
Oh, no, we're being politically correct tonight. Okay. So, anything else before we move into our Shark Tank updates?
Nope. Happy Veterans Day coming up.
Yeah. Do we have some music for updates, or should I just go with it?
Just go, baby.
Okay. So this week we saw they filmed at the White House, which is kind of a big deal.
You think?
I mean, yeah, but see, this is where I'm gonna go left a little bit. Just follow me when we'll get there. Mr. Wonderful, Damon, and Robert, all just there. They're promoting, you know, small businesses, business entrepreneurship. They had the Stella Vale products, but you know, I was kind of upset that we didn't see what their sales were, what their sales were before Shark Tank. Like, we didn't get a true update. We just saw this thing that was happening at the White House. And we did get to hear from Michelle Obama. She said Happy Veterans Day and the Small Business Week, and that, you know, Shark Tank is working with the White House a little bit. So, like, there's no better stamp of approval than Michelle Obama coming on and being like, we're partnering with Shark Tank. But in the same sense, it's like, I don't know. I mean, does our government do so many things for small businesses? I don't know. Like, I get that the government and tax and everything, and I don't want to get too political, but it's like the way that things are designed, it weeds a lot of people out trying to make businesses, but it's like, wait, all right, me and Phil, like, let's make this really good idea. Okay, we come up with this awesome idea. Okay, let's create jobs and employ people so people are happy. It's like the domino effect of, we have a good idea, we make money, we employ people, then they can feed their families, and their families can go play sports, this, that, and the other thing. And then wait, oh yeah, since we had this really good idea, we just have to give this whole big chunk to the government because we decided to have a good idea and work our ass off. It's kind of crazy.
I mean, you know what? The government has equity.
The government has equity. The government has 30% in every stake, pretty much.
So, you know, I'm not going to argue.
I'm not arguing either. I'm just saying I think that there should be more, and maybe they're doing it now, and maybe that's what these meetings are for, but you know, the more and more way the world is today with technology and creative things and the world that we live in, creating more opportunity for people to, there's more of an entrepreneurship available now than ever before, I think. So I really hope that they are doing more and more things to help, you know, lift people up, be like, yeah, go do this, like inspire people, encourage people, you know, have more small business grants or whatever they can do in order to create more small businesses, because it's, you know, the whole American dream, what everything's built on, like figuring it out. We see so many good stories on Shark Tank. We see so many people that are just trying to do that. So like I said, it was a great stamp of approval. Michelle Obama looked fabulous. She always does. And you know,
That's a deal.
It is a deal. And one thing that I heard Robert say there, it was don't try and start a business. Find a problem, solve a problem, and the business comes next, which I think is so key.
Absolutely.
All right. Anything else that you want to add? Any predictions from you, Phil?
We're 100th episode?
I believe it is.
We're coming up on the 100th. I wonder how it's going to be interesting to see how they celebrate it completely. If they're just going to be where they just cheers the champagne and that's it, or if they're actually going to talk about what that fully means.
I don't know. I would love to see actually, like a special episode.
Yeah, I would
like
love
not
to,
people bidding.
And I also don't need how great Shark Tank really is and how much it's helped. Like, for the people that really watch, which is of course you guys, because not only do you watch, but you watch an after show about the show. Right. So clearly you guys got in that category. But I don't need to know how great Shark Tank is. I'd rather know, okay, Mark, what's your business tips? Robert, business tips. Mr. Wonderful, tell me the way to get the best. Like, how do you actually figure out your valuation? Like, that's what I want to hear, not like.
Right, but I doubt they're gonna do that.
They won't. They won't.
But there's a way that they could marry both and talk about.
Won't.
No, they won't. But they could talk about their best experiences, their worst experience, and it could be kind of dangling the carrot for the Beyond the Tank show that's starting. They could use it as that,
vehicle. Yeah,
but I don't know if they will. Hopefully they will. But it would be interesting if they did.
I don't know if they'll recut it.
I don't know. Well, because Beyond the Tank came out afterwards?
Yeah, it could have been. I don't know. Maybe. Yeah. It just depends. So.
All right. Well, do you have anything else to add tonight, Phil?
Damon's out for next week.
Damon's out.
Barbara's in.
Barbara's in. All right, guys. Well, that is our after show. We finished up a little early tonight because it was just the two of us. But thanks for watching. We appreciate your comments. Any questions you guys have, anything you want us to answer, feel free to put that as well. Where can the people find you, Phil?
Follow us here at AFTERBUZZ TV, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Keep commenting below. We are a lot more tamer than we normally are.
I know.
We toned it down for the masses.
We toned it down. And you guys can find me at I am Stef Z with an F on Instagram and Twitter as well. Okay, thanks for watching, guys.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.